How's it going, guys? So, I just want to address this whole thing that I've been seeing on social media. It's not only on social media, it's pretty much all over, really, where people are cutting off their family members and pretty much anybody they know if the person voted for Orange Man. People got it into their heads that he's, evil incarnate, and anybody who voted for him, anybody associated with him in any way is also, or at best, not to be spoken to, not to be interacted with, etc., etc. You know, my friends, it's interesting because in the time that, the basement creature was president, I mean, he still kind of is, but in the time that he was, before the election, right, for the 4 years, I personally attempted to have civil conversations, not even debates, but just like conversations. I'm actually not really into debating or being combative or being, to win a debate or, win points or brag that I won some debate or gloat or this or that and the other. I'm into having a conversation with people, One of my teachers, Rabbi Yom Tov Glazer, he says the Jewish people are the people of the conversation, right? So what I realized over these years, and even before the basement creature came to be, and actually this is even before Trump came to be the president. I realized that it's not possible to have conversations with the people you would call woke and or leftist. It's not possible. You try to have conversation, you try to present something, you try to ask something from a perspective that maybe nobody ever asked. Not to be facetious, not to be combative, not to be, not to be, nasty or push them over the edge or whatever it is. Just, it's like I'm just asking questions, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? And no one wanted to engage. And if they did engage, usually it devolved into either denying what I was saying, basically muzzling me, or gaslighting or denying what I was saying, or basically, at worst, obviously going into ad hominem attacks. So this has gone on for years, right? So at some point, my friends, I realized there's, as we say in Russian, не с кем говорить. There's nobody to talk to. And I stopped trying to engage with them. Not because I think they're evil, not because I think, whatever it is, because anybody told me to do. I stopped because I tried. I really tried. Conversely, these folks who are now saying, don't talk to this person, cut this person off, my friends, I don't know if you notice, with the possible exception of, insulting people, gaslighting people, talking down to them, calling them all kinds of names because they don't kowtow to particular, ideology, whatever it is, no one actually attempted to have a real conversation, a real dialogue, a real debate. Not debate for friendly debate, not to win points and not to be that kind of stuff. No one on the side of the left attempted to do that. It was always condescension. It was always just looking down on people. It was always just excluding people, making them feel like they can't share their opinion, canceling them. banning them, shadow banning them, removing them, accusing them of this, of that, and the other. My friends. And now it's culminated in cutting family members off. Do you know what this is? Who did this? The last time this was done in society? This was done in the Soviet Union. This was done shortly after the Bolshevik Revolution. After Lenin came to power, young people were instructed to not speak to their family members, to cut off any family members or friends who did not go along with the agenda of the party. In Russian, it's called partiynost, partiness. And it was connected to art as well, right? Arts and all different things, entertainment. But if you didn't go along with the party, if you didn't go along with the ideology, in this case, it's just, you can call it wokeism. I don't know if they call themselves that. Maybe they do. I don't know. They think they're woke or awake or whatever they are. And we're asleep. No, we're not asleep. Actually, we're very awake. So if you didn't go along with the party, you were to be cut off for, this family member who did go along with the party was instructed to cut you off. My friends, this is how cults are built. Not religions, cults. It was the same thing. It began during Shmovid, right? Where they turned it into scientism and they split people. You think these people didn't know that they were dividing people along this particular issue, which became like incendiary as hell? Whether or not you want to inject yourself, or you agree or disagree or this or that. You think they didn't know that this is what they were doing? The people who were doing this? Of course they did. My friends, but it was all part of a bigger thing. The bigger thing was this cult thing. And if you're not down with the cult, you are to be ostracized as a what? Nazi, racist, misogynist, etc. Again, all the monikers. I don't have to tell you. I don't have to read you off a list. My friends, this is Bolshevism. Straight up Bolshevism. And again, we tried. We tried and tried and tried. We tried to speak. We tried to reason. We tried to talk. We really tried. I don't know about you guys. I tried. I did. I genuinely tried. And then when I realized that, I'm just going to be shut down and I'm going to be, ostracized anyway, and turned into basically a pariah, which I was in certain circles. Okay, I'm done. There's a phrase in Russian, если я не нужен искусству, искусство не нужно мне. If I am not needed by art, then I don't need art. If art doesn't need me, I don't need art. You know what I mean? So like a lot of these artists were created art and they didn't, they were rejected. If art doesn't need me, I don't need art. I don't want to be part of a club that won't have me as a member. But my friends, all jokes aside, whoever is responsible for this, whether it's the guy, who was the president from 2008 till 2016, and all his people, whether it's the people who were in charge of the education system in America at that time, and even after that, starting at that time, and going into this very day, whoever it wasn't one person. It was a whole, army of people. They have Sovietized our children. They have Sovietized them, folks. Because you got to think, any person who was in grade school when Mr. O became president in 2008, let's say that person was 10 years old. So now we are 16 years later. This person is 26 years old. 26 years old. They're in the workforce. Who are the people that you're seeing screaming into pillows with their nose rings? All right? They made a nice little like music thing out of this girl screaming into a pillow. I mean, it's like funny, but it's not funny. But who are the people you're seeing? How old are they? 26, 25, 24, 21. You know, this whole thing continued, you know. And it doesn't start in university. These kids are already primed. By the time they get to university, they're already ready to be, you know, completely Sovietized by their professors. But it all begins in grade school. My friends, you know that because you heard stories now of these like elementary school teachers, high school teachers going off about, you know, Orange Man. My friends, we live, I hate to say this, at least, I mean, I would say a good portion of the schools in this country, America, have been Sovietized. You live in Soviet America. You can't say anything. You can't express anything without being like looked down upon, ostracized, canceled, banned, shadow banned, blocked. It's absolutely psychotic. But my friends, you know, as Shlomo Melech likes to say, there's nothing new under the sun. This happened 100 years ago. And as Ronald Reagan famously said, we're only one generation away from losing our freedoms. And I think it was a famous socialist, I forget his name, but he said socialism will not come, will not be accepted openly as socialism. It will come under the banner of, it will arrive under the banner of liberalism. And that's it, my friends. That's where we're at. We've arrived. In Russian we say приехали. So, my friends, take it from me. This is basically what this is. What you're witnessing is the Sovietization of these kids, the Sovietization of families, and the question is, how are we going to fix this? How are we going to combat this? Because again, there's a whole group of people that simply doesn't want to talk. My friend Frank said, listen man, the only thing we can do, maybe, if they don't want to engage, then don't engage. And just let the guy they think is so horrible to do what he's going to do. And probably they'll see in their lives how it if he's unfettered, if he's not going to be like last time where they're attacking him the whole time and he can't do half the things he wants to do, or more than half. If he's allowed to do what he, in terms of economic and all the rest of it, agenda, to literally fix things that were obliterated in the last 4 years, if not more, then these people will see on their own, a lot of them, that everything they're screaming and panicking about, all the gulags and all the, I don't know, loss of this and loss of that, was literally a Sovietized canard, a Soviet canard, and like a spell, like a demonic spell that they fell under from whomever did it to them. So, B'ezrat Hashem, because I don't really see any other way, my friends. I don't really see any other solution. So, alright, with that said, B'ezrat Hashem, I'll talk to you guys